Hello everyone, I'm Tina. Today I have for you a new video. Well, you know I'm Tina, so there's no point in prefacing my videos with that. My tone is a lot cheerier than my last video. I just realized I was super jaded, and not that I'm usually not jaded, because I am typically, but maybe I have more energy because I drank 4 glasses of water, which is very outside of my character. Terribly sad. But to the point of this video is I'm announcing my first ever project that I've officially initiated for the homeless community. I have a plethora of other projects that I want to put into action, but this is the very first that I can offer at this point in my life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not just initiating a project for a cause that pulls me so much just towards the end of the year simply because it's the holiday season. No, I try and really effectuate that as much as I can in my everyday life whenever I'm actually faced with this or I encounter my neighbor, as I call them, because they are. I don't know if you guys know this, but last year I actually went to give some sandwiches to the homeless and other amenities like socks and some leftover candies and whatnot. I definitely encourage you guys to do that. I don't want to sound too intrusive, obviously. If someone is in a fiscally difficult situation and they happen to be going to family gatherings and they take leftovers for the sake of, you know, it being difficult for them to always prepare meals and whatnot and budgeting and all of that sort, I totally understand. Typically, I think we take advantage of how much food we actually do make. I think that it kind of goes over our heads in the sense that we take it home just for the sake of, oh, I don't want to throw it out, you know, and I don't want to put this to waste. But you can actually make great use of it. Take it upon you to arrange a little escort to the city, or, you know, at least a day within the frame of time that you have that food until it goes bad, to just commute and to go to a place that's essentially more concentrated with the homeless population, like a park that you might know that's renowned for that, or whatever the case may be. So if you're at a family dinner or you're at an event and you see that there's leftovers, don't be shy to just ask if you can take them with you, and you can give them out to some people who need it direly. And I had written them letters, and my friend had helped me translate them. We had gone with my mom. She had driven us around the city, and we just distributed sandwiches and, again, all of those other amenities to the homeless. I'd say about 40 to 50 individuals. Unfortunately, while you know, it was still an act of grace in itself, I didn't necessarily have much time to establish more of a firm plan and kind of embellish the project. It was just more so giving out food, which obviously is a necessity, but I wish I could have done more in some sense. In every sense, obviously. If I could give the world to them, I would. Going out and doing things like this is a great way to exercise your muscle of compassion and use the tools that have been bestowed to you and that, you know, you have within you, and just really make that effort to reach out to these individuals who have been looked past far too often and who have been made invisible by our society. Please reach out to them. And I just want to tell you guys that while I am outspoken in this area, and I know that takes a lot for some people, and I definitely know that it is the case for a lot of people where they feel a bit weary of going out and doing things like that. You know, you might not know how to strike up conversation, and that kind of makes you feel like you need to leave, or perhaps you have prejudices that they're aggressive, that have maybe been implanted in you since you were a child, or from however that kind of originated. Maybe you even get triggered or have certain triggers that come up when you see homeless individuals and that cause you to walk past them. But whatever the case may be, your girl's got you covered. I am gonna actually be making a separate video on, you know, how to actually interact with the homeless, and, you know, what to say to them if you don't have money on you, and how you can still approach them, you know, how to work past those little biases or discomforts or internal conflict that you might have within you, you know, and setting boundaries, how to find resources for them, and just how to enable and facilitate your encounters. I'm learning about this too every day through each of my loving encounters with these people, and so it would be my greatest privilege to be able to offer that to you. And I believe that this concerns everyone, not because I'm here trying to sell you an agenda. No, not at all. This is not for my benefit. This is for the sake of our neighbors. And, you know, we're quick to preach fluffy things like be kind to everyone or it costs nothing to be nice, but don't forget those who you might be passing on the streets without even maybe realizing it. But again, I hear you, and I know how difficult it might be having those intentions and just not knowing how to act on them. I say that I'm here on a mission to not only help those who have been stricken by the plight of homelessness, but to also you, so that you may be able to reach out your hand and extend it to them. And feel free to message me or to DM me, and we can talk about these things, or just talk to me about your concerns that you might have, or any prejudices if you want to disclose them in a safe space. Trust me, you can definitely disclose them to me, and you know, free of judgment. I totally find that commendable and super brave of you to even acknowledge them and to bring them to the surface. But I can guarantee you that these people are nothing to the stigma that, you know, our general society has allotted to them, and that kind of homogenized perception that people tend to carry of them. They are, again, some of the most gentlest, humblest, sweetest individuals that I've ever encountered. In any way that I can help them, I'll also help you guys. But at least in each step, you know, the common thread is to provide that balm and that healing for their suffering. And even if at this stage in my life, all I can do is provide healing in doses, then I let that be my motivation. And I know that, you know, there will be a time where I'll be able to exercise my yearn to help this community as far as possible and as far as practicable in my life, and I really hope that I will get to that stage. But here I am offering to you the best that I possibly can with this current level of my consciousness and the means that I have at the present moment. But yes, so I wanted to tell you guys that I came up with this idea that's, you know, nothing completely overt and totally large scale. I wish I could do much more, but unfortunately within the span of time for the remainder of the month, this is all that I can offer. You know, all of the other much larger and much more curative ideas that I have can only really manifest themselves at a later time when I have more means and I've acquired more knowledge in my studies, and I'm actually, and I say this in the most humbling way possible, I have the privilege of actually being able to study in a field that touches directly on help for the homeless. So definitely as I kind of work my way up that ladder, hopefully I can put into practice everything that I can give within me. And through my experience as I go along and you know, just in my personal encounters with this population, I really hope that, you know, I can cultivate a career from this and really bring to fruition all of my ideas in making my life a service to them. It's step by step. It's hard because I always think to myself that I wish I could do it all instantly, because it's such a begging issue. It's so urgent, but I have to remember that this is only something that can work step by step, and at least, you know, me taking this on as a mission of mine, I have to remind myself. But I could not, and I refuse to just sit idly by knowing that there are hungry stomachs and cold bodies out in the streets who are just waiting and crying out for someone to help them. Now, normally I love giving the homeless community money. It is my personal preference to give them money, to do with it as they wish. But as it is Christmas and it is the holiday season, and the cold months have befallen us, I have decided to give gift boxes to the homeless, but it is more than meets the eye, and I will proceed to tell you why. I just realized that rhymed. I've compiled a list, and I'll tell you why this isn't as conventional as the traditional gift boxes that are typically given. So the first thing I plan on gifting is MP3s, and so what I want to do with that is load meditations onto the MP3s, and I was inspired by this through Jason Stevenson. He's a spiritual teacher, if you will, but he makes meditations on YouTube and a plethora of other things, and essentially what he did one year, and I don't know if this was a recurring thing for him or if this was just a one-time initiative of his, but he created this project where people would purchase cheaper MP3 players, so that obviously it's more of a viable thing to do, but essentially they would load meditations onto the MP3s and just distribute them to the homeless, and I think that that's such a wonderful idea and such a great initiative. It's unprecedented. I've never heard of that. So I thought that that was a great idea, and that sparked in my mind when I was thinking of what to give them, because it's absolutely necessary. And what I also wanted to load onto the MP3s was music, because that goes without saying. I don't even have to get into explanation here, but we typically give back things that we take for granted, like food and clothes and water and whatnot. But we take for granted other privileges like music. Music provides such remedy, and the fact that they are deprived of that is heart-wrenching, so definitely gonna do that for them. The next thing I wanted to gift to the homeless were movie gift cards, and this is because I think leisure-based and recreational-based resources are absolutely paramount, and they're deprived of this on such a scale where, again, it is heart-shattering, and we have all these means to go out and to do these things at the sleight of our hands, but it is so hard for them because, you know, with the money that they do get from panhandling or whatnot, it is so hard, or through welfare checks even. They have to tailor that to a very specific budget, and they don't necessarily have that freedom, and, you know, the money that they do collect while panhandling, they're typically not going to spend that for, you know, let's say a ticket to the movies or whatnot. It typically will be for their sustenance. My face got completely washed out, although my face is not at all the importance or any highlight of any of my videos. It's just to convey a message. But, you know, just turned on a light. Hopefully that helped in any way, instead of just trying to look at a disfigured entity. I don't know. Books. So not only is this fundraiser solely through you guys donating money, but also just anything that you might have secondhand. I would totally be receptive to that and entirely appreciative. So if you guys have books that you don't read, or any items that you feel could be of service or value to them, please message me. And if you do know me personally and want to reach out, we can definitely arrange a little meetup, and I can collect any items that you want to donate, and I would totally appreciate that. Once again, blankets as well. I'd like to purchase new blankets, but if you guys have used blankets, just give them a wash, and again, we can arrange a little encounter where I can pick them up from you. Soaps, I would definitely go out and buy soaps, hygienic products, pads for women, disposable toothbrushes as well. There are actually bamboo toothbrushes that are sold that they are disposable, and mini toothpaste that you can purchase as well. But yeah, they're ecologically friendly. There are also other disposable toothbrushes that are more compact and they're electronic. Socks, mitts, scarves, boots. If you guys have any of these and would like to donate them to me, please reach out. If you can't, again, the money would be greatly appreciated. Definitely feel free to leave your suggestions. I'm going to make as much of an all-encompassing, all-inclusive gift basket for them. Foods, and by this I mean non-perishable, obviously ones that they can, eat directly from the packaging. But by food, I also mean little vouchers and coupons, and also buying them gift cards to a little coffee shop, or whatever the case may be. Obviously, this could be of great use to them. What I'm planning on doing as well is actually giving them a list of resources, with art-based resources, recreational-based resources, places where they can take hot showers, drop-in centers where they can receive 3 free meals a day, engaging in art therapy and other activities that can allow them to just integrate socially and develop their socioeconomic role and help them to reintegrate into the community. I've surrendered to the fact that the lighting just keeps getting worse and worse. Hopefully this has helped in any which way. But the next items would be journals, because I think that canvassing your thoughts is absolutely essential, and it is so therapeutic. And I say it's essential because, at least in my case, I am in an absolute clouded space mentally, and I feel like it is so important for me to just kind of put my thoughts in an external canvas, being journaling, and that helps me tremendously to actually just organize and compartmentalize all of my thoughts and do it in a healthy way. And the majority of homeless individuals who I've encountered are literate, so they are capable of very well journaling. Coloring books, pencil crayons, maybe other things that can be stimulating to them, like cards or whatnot. And lastly, the letters. So again, this is not empty hope that you're offering them. This is providing them with something to look forward to be hopeful about, and to be practically hopeful about. This lighting is pure trash. I'm sorry. You know what? I give thanks to you, lamp, because you're providing me with the light that I need. And you know what? Give thanks to inanimate objects. Why not? So you know what? I'm sorry. I revoke my title of calling you trash. But I tried to be scenic, and this is what happens. So now I'm having to improvise, and you're getting the bad rap of it. So sorry for this obstructive view, but you win some, you lose some, right? They also tend to reject themselves a lot. They tend to not have their health in their best interest, and they don't necessarily know how to find those outlets and how to take care of themselves. So we need to hold their hands and to show them that, and to be that light for them in providing them these things. So I think that this is a great idea in that sense. All of these provisions can last them throughout the cold, harsh months, and can really be a light and stability to them. And I know that shelters are super rough, and I just wrote a term paper on homelessness, and God, the statistics and the testimonials of people who do actually utilize the services within shelters have stated blatantly that shelters are scary places, and that they're not necessarily always fun. If I could house every homeless individual I'd encountered, I would do it in a heartbeat, but unfortunately my circumstances at this stage in my life do not permit. But hopefully when I am a bit older and more experienced and have acquired more knowledge, I can act as much as I possibly can. I just had to change location yet again. And now, of course, because this cause pulls me with every fiber of my being, I'm going to be, giving as many funds as I possibly can from my own savings. But I, of course, do not ask you to take out all of your money and contribute to this cause. But as much as you possibly can or feel like giving, I would be the utmost appreciative of it, even if that is just $1. Obviously, if I want to maximize this endeavor as much as possible, I am going to be needing as much help as possible. If you're unable to give for whatever reason, don't sweat it. If the most you can do is just share this video, that would mean absolutely everything to me, and I speak on behalf of my sweethearts out there on the street as well. I'm sure they would appreciate it beyond conceivable measure. And of course, if you can't give, you can always donate to me. Again, if you know me personally and we're actually able to make that function. But you can totally write letters to me if you'd like as well. That's also free, and that would be greatly appreciated. And I can print it and give it alongside mine, and I think that that's such an underrated gesture that again speaks surges and really pulls at the heartstrings, and that can really provide them with the solace that they need. So conclusively, I would say don't let this intimidate you. This was a lot, but I needed to get it all out there. I apologize for the terrible quality of this video. I don't even know how this is gonna look in finality, but thank you for withstanding all of my little lunacies. Don't underestimate the power of a smile. Give grace back and give people back to themselves, and remember that you are it and you are the light unto another just as much they are unto you, so long as you regard it to be so. Have a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you in my next video. I'll be posting updates, so make sure to keep in check, and please subscribe if you're interested in any which way. Bye!